All right, ladies and gentlemen, you can come to order, please. I'd like to welcome all of you this evening to the Board of Directors' regularly scheduled meeting. We'd like to excuse President Orzali, who's out on personal business this evening, and I'll be chairing the meeting. Calling to order the Thursday, August 14, 2014 regularly scheduled meeting of Sac Metro Fire. This open session meeting is videotaped and cablecast on Metro Cable 14. To replay on Saturday, August 16, 2014 at 1 p.m. and on Monday, August 18, 2014 at 6 p.m. on Channel 14 webcast at www.sacmetrocable.tv. We'll start this meeting with a pledge to the flag, and I've asked Director Scheidegger to lead us. Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you, Director Scheidegger. Before we have any public comments, I'd like to, as a point of privilege, turn the time over to Chief Hinkie.
Thank you, President Gould, Board of Directors. It's with a great deal of pride that I have worked for this organization over the last several years. I have had an exceptionally rewarding career over 33 years in the fire service, having served on the front lines, having served as a labor leader, and having served as the fire chief of what I believe is the state's best fire department and fire agency. I am extremely proud of my time in the fire service and the critical role that we play in protecting communities and individuals. After much thought and reflection about this stage of my professional and personal life, I feel like it is the right time for me to retire in October of this year. My parents are well into their 80s, and as we all know, as we get up there becomes that certain time where you want to spend more time with them and do things that you didn't do when you were younger. And so for me, my parents raised me, gave me all the opportunity that a lot of people don't have. And I feel like it's my opportunity and time to really give back to them. I've really been a servant to the fire service for, like I say, almost 33 years. And I would like to be there for my parents and to spend quality time with them as they move further into their golden years. And as you all know, I have a wife and a young daughter who is impressionable. And during those growing ages, at the age of 10 years old, going on 30, as kids do nowadays. And it's time to take some time to go have some fun and enjoy that as they move into her upper years and in high school and into college and the rest of it. I feel that I have done what I hope to accomplish to advance the district's interest, what you tasked me with when I came here. And with the board's adoption of a 2-year budget, this is also a good time for the district to look forward to hiring a new leader, because I believe that 2-year budget sets the framework for stability and the ability to really concentrate on those huge issues that still confront the district. When the board hired me as their fire chief in 2011, Metro Fire was experiencing an unprecedented effects of the worst economic downturn in our lifetime. Property tax revenue was plummeting, and we had spending commitments that far exceeded our available revenue, forcing us to reduce service levels. At the same time, Metro Fire was not viewed as fiscally responsible. These circumstances created a challenge, but also an opportunity for Metro Fire to operate more like a business. With the board's support, your senior management team was able to drastically reduce our spending rate and create a new dynamic between management and labor that put the fiscal health of the organization and the delivery of public safety services as our priority and our guiding principles. Through agreements reached with Local 522, we were able to save more than $9 million per year, which I believe represent the most comprehensive of any public agency in California. I believe that agreements reached over pension contributions and the pre-funding of retiree health care will also help put Metro on a solid fiscal path for the future. Those are unprecedented issues, and it wouldn't have happened without a great partnership with labor. I am proud of what we have been able to do together in recovering costs. We were able to secure enactment of legislation to allow fire agencies in California to recover ambulance transport costs through Medicare, resulting in $140 million statewide. And with passage of AB 2577, which we anticipate over the next couple weeks, it was just released from appropriations, this will grow to $500 million statewide to fire agencies in California. And we are the leader in this industry, and that's certainly not my doing, that was teamwork. Everything I talk about tonight is about our staff, our incredible, incredible staff. We were able to modernize our service delivery model with such programs as a single-role paramedic program and things like that are cutting edge and are the future in California and in America as a whole. These reforms, accomplished through the strong commitment of this board and the hard work of your staff, not only allowed Metro Fire to make it through the worst of the recession, they allowed Metro Fire to become a stronger organization, particularly in the areas of accountability and fiscal responsibility. Despite these accomplishments, Metro Fire still faces challenges. Property tax recovery remains modest, estimated at about a 3% annual increase. With expenditures estimated at 3 to 5% annually, this recovery is insufficient to bring resources back online to prevent further erosion. 6 engine companies remain closed, and our fire department experts tell us we are 10 companies below what is needed to bring our response times closer to the board policy. With the erosion of response time performance, we are only making our 4-minute travel time goal to a little more than half of the emergencies. And in terms of firefighters and their safety, we struggle every day to make sure that we provide the most safest environment we can, and we are challenged with the economics to do that. And it should not be lost, nor should it be forgotten. In times, things can become clouded by the urgency or the issue of the moment. But our labor union and our firefighters and rank and file personnel have made many concessions these past years that have been huge. And they have not received even so much as a cost of living increase since 2008. And that is a fact that the public needs to know. Despite these challenges, there is good news. You have a very talented senior management team that works well together and stands ready to carry on the work of the district. Moreover, this board of directors should be credited for engaging in a succession planning process that will position the district well as it looks for my successor. A testament to the quality of senior management within our organization can be quantified by the selection of chief officers as leaders in other departments. Most recently, the announcement of Walt White as the fire chief for the city of Sacramento. And as late as tonight, I am extremely proud to announce this evening that the Linwood Fire Department in the state of Washington has selected Deputy Fire Chief Scott Cochran to be their new fire chief. In closing, there have been many personal and professional accomplishments during my career, such as receiving the Cal Chiefs 2013 Fire Chief of the Year Award. But that pales. That's not what I'm most proud of. What I'm most honored and proud is to have served with an exceedingly talented group of dedicated, sincere, competent individuals that any fire chief and any board of directors would ever have the privilege to serve with. God bless each and every one of them, our men and women that are out there on the front lines, and thank each and every one of you and the citizens at home for giving me this wonderful, wonderful opportunity. Thank you.
Thank you, Chief Hinkie. As another point of privilege, I'd ask my colleagues on the board if they have any comments that they would like to make at this time. Seeing none, we'll move on. We have a public opportunity to discuss matters of public interest within the district's jurisdiction, including items on or not on the agenda. Madam Clerk, do we have any speaker cards?
There are no speakers this
Thank you
evening.
very much. I'll now entertain a motion for consent.
Mr.
we'll
President, we
do it.
have awards.
That's right, we'll do the awards. Is Mr. Jewett in the audience? Matt, if you'll come up to the podium, please. Should be, just speak into it.
Thank you for the opportunity for us to come up and present an award or a certificate of appreciation. I represent Sierra College's Fire Technology Program, along with Val Walker, who is one of our administrative assistants and instructional assistants at the college. I started with Sierra College last year, 2013, and we were in dire need for the fire academy of a Type 1 fire engine. The college has never owned an engine for the academy, which is crazy. They've borrowed and had Type 3s that they've owned in the past, but nothing realistic to what they're actually going to see in the fire service to be functional firefighters. With that, we took the opportunity to approach the administration, Chief Holbrook in particular, and Fred Bino at Fleet, and asked, is there anything we could do to either buy an engine or if, so graciously could donate one. And they worked together and donated a fire engine, Type 1, to the college. This engine in particular, I believe, was a Sacramento County or fire engine before the merger, and perfectly functional. All we did was polish her up. The Fire Academy students and staff polished up, put some paint on it, and some gold leaf lettering, actual gold leaf on it, and the Academy logo. If you notice in the pictures here, you can kind of see the transformation. It used to be completely white with the one red stripe, as you can see at the top there, and then the transformation to the lower picture there. And we made sure to state on the engine with gold leaf lettering, thanking Metro Fire for the donation. And every student at the Fire Academy greatly appreciates it, especially 14-1. That was the last academy we just had graduate, and they put their number on it because they did most of the work on it, including diamond plate polishing, changing oil, all kinds of stuff. So I know they really appreciated it, and they took a lot of pride into it. So I think it's going to help the future of our fire service. I know there are a lot of graduates that work here now that are from Sierra College, including myself when I worked here. There's at least 30 plus from Sierra College's Fire Academy, which started back in 2000. So we're going to do our best to keep training them so that way we could feed the department good, successful firefighters that would be career long. So we just wanted to say thank you, and thank you for the donation. And this is their certificate.
All right, thank you
you,
very
Chief.
much. You bet.
Chief, I think we need to get a picture of that for you. We got to wait for the PIO. Hold on, she's getting there.
He's usually in front of these things.
Chief?
I would first off say thank you so much on behalf of the district, but I would be remiss if I didn't point out that Matt was one of our star employees whose career was cut short with pretty horrific, I believe, back injuries. And I never met a guy that he would have worked, thank God he isn't, but if he was crippled or he was in a wheelchair, he'd have been here to be a firefighter. That was his dream. That was the type of employee he was. That was the type of firefighter that he was. And it does warm my heart that even though that's that tough pill to swallow, here's a guy that's sharp as sharp can be, landed on his feet, and look what he's doing for kids and young men and women to move forward. And that really is what deserves a thank you. And so I'd ask to give him a round of applause for the work that he's done.
Thank you very much for that. I'll now entertain a motion for consent.
Mr. Chair, I so move.
Thank you. And a first and a second. Any questions? Please call the roll.
Director Monk?
Aye.
Scheidegger?
Aye.
Pearson?
Aye.
Kelly?
Aye.
Jones?
Aye.
And Gould?
Aye.
Motion passes.
Thank you very much. Now for the audience, I'll just make you aware of how the process will go the rest of the evening. The board will now close, go into adjournment and go into closed session. We'll exit out of closed session and have a report out of action taken in closed session, at which time we'll then continue the regularly scheduled board meeting under action items. So at this time, the board will recess to closed session. Gay, you ready? You ready? Thank you. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we'll open back up into open session, and we'll have Mr. O'Day report out on our closed session meeting.
All right, this is the closed session report. Pursuant to California Government Code Section 54956.9, on the matter of Shannon Baker, the board voted to approve unanimously the industrial disability retirement.
We're taking action on that.
Pardon me?
We're actually going to take that as an action item, sir, here in just a minute.
Okay. And then on the matter of Kevin Alameda, the board voted to extend settlement authority. On the matter of the FSLA wages and claims, the board voted to extend settlement authority on that as well. On the matter of the conference with the labor negotiator pursuant to California Government Code Section 54957.6, no action was taken. And on the matter of the fire chief selection process, the board voted to accept the recommendation of the executive committee that the board will proceed with an internal process for selection of the chief confined to the two current deputy chiefs. A letter of interest and a comprehensive resume with relevant education and professional certifications shall be due on August 29th, followed by interviews to be conducted by the board. And that's the report.
Thank you very much. We'll now move on to action items. We'll take up action item number 1, direct levy of special fire tax, collection of weed abatement cost. Ron.
Good evening, members of the board. Ron Pedran, controller for the district.
I'm sure it's back on. If you'll just look ugly into the camera or something, they'll turn it on for you. It's not? Where's the help these days?
Oh, here you go.
There you go. Just got to get ugly at them.
Good evening, members of the board. Ron Pedrad, controller for the district, and I'm before you right now is an action item that seeks to authorize the County of Sacramento to collect and levy from property owners the weed abatement costs. In line with the district's weed abatement program, the district identified certain property for inspection and for the existence of fire hazards on their property. And when they were inspected, the property owners were notified of their obligation to abate the fire hazards on their property, and having failed to do so, the district went ahead and contracted with outside vendors and paid outside vendors to perform the weed abatement cleanup work. After the weed abatement cleanup work, the district notified the property owners and sent them invoices to reimburse the district for the costs. And after several attempts, the district were unsuccessful in obtaining reimbursement. So we're left with our last resort to collect these invoices. As of today, the unreimbursed cost of abatement is $58,921, and the staff recommends that the board adopts a resolution to authorize the County of Sacramento to include in the 2014-15 property tax levy this unreimbursed with abatement costs.
So moved.
I have a first and a second on the motion. Questions from the board?
Provided we tax the right people.
Exactly how many properties is that, roughly? And then also, do we have the reasons why they're not paying it? I mean, did they give us any indication or just blowing us off?
For your first question, there's exactly 45 parcels, and the cost for each parcel range from anywhere from $112 to $7,000, and bulk of the parcels that are subject to the weed abatement is from an LLC. They're owned by LLCs. They were not responding to any of our letters that were sent to them, so we do not know why they're not responding to us.
I was just wondering,
Members-
I was just hoping there wasn't some little poor widow out there that was, or taking her land.
She's the LLC.
All right.
Right.
Any other members of the board have a question relative to this motion? Okay, thank you. Madam Clerk, please call the roll.
Director Monk?
Aye.
Scheidegger?
Aye.
Pearson?
Aye.
Kelly?
Aye.
Jones?
Aye.
And Gould?
Aye.
Motion passes.
Thank you very much. Thank you, sir. Chief Wells, Industrial Disability Retirement, Ms. Shannon Baker.
Good evening, directors. Mark Wells, Deputy Chief of Administration. Tonight before you, after discussion in closed session, we're asking for your consideration in adopting a resolution finding that firefighter Shannon Baker has suffered a job-related injury and directing staff to work with firefighter Baker through her industrial disability process with CalPERS.
I have a first,
Second.
and I have a second on the motion. Questions from the board? Seeing none, hearing none, please call the roll.
Director Monk?
Aye.
Scheidegger?
Aye.
Pearson?
Aye.
Kelly?
Aye.
Jones?
Aye.
And Gould?
Aye.
Motion passes.
Thank you, Chief Wells. Begin with reports. As the Vice President, I have no reports this evening except to extend my wishes to President Orzali. Whatever he's doing, I hope it's enjoyable. President, our Fire Chief's report, Chief Henke.
Yes, Vice President Gould, Board of Directors. We continue on behalf of the California Metro Fire Chiefs and the Cal Chiefs Executive Board and Metro Fire to engage in the crude by oil update on the bulk and crude. That is a huge, huge issue. We continue to push for training dollars for entities throughout California and or more specifically also Zinfandel Training Facility, and we will keep you up to date on that. We continue to meet and confer with Local 522 over the current issues that are affecting the budget year. Save the date. On 8/21, Metro Fire is joined with Assemblyman King Cooley to host Sidewalk CPR event. This will be on the north steps of the state capitol from 9 a.m. to 1 p.m. I think that's pretty cool that Metro Fire actually is going to be the host agency on the steps of the capitol. And Michelle Idem and everybody that's been involved with that, and Assemblyman Cooley, what a great job. So that'll be very, very neat to see. On 8/27, we have the single role paramedic 14-2 graduation, 6 p.m. at Citrus Heights Community Center. On the 29th, Sac Metro Public Safety Foundation Swing for Public Safety Golf Tournament, Rancho Murrieta Golf Club, a country club. I urge everybody to go. I, however, saved everybody, bought my T sign, and I will drive around in a cart and save anybody some serious injury that might happen if I attempt to play golf. New hires, effective 8/1, we got an accounting technician, Emily Brown. Reinstatements, none to report. Reassignments, as of 8/15, Captain Sean Daly selected to fill exercise coordinator for Urban Area Security UASI. Effective 8/15, EMS Day, Captain John Rudnicki. And that, I believe, let me see here, concludes my report. You have a media advisory that's gone out in your packet that talks about the Sidewalk CPR Sunday. So please refer to that, and we look forward to a great time and potentially getting people set up to save somebody's life. And that concludes my report. Thank you.
Thank you, Chief. Not Chief Holbrook.
Good evening, Board. Darren Taylor, Assistant Chief of Operations. I'm here tonight to give you your operations report. First off, I would like to, on behalf of the operations group, congratulate Chief Hinkie on his announcement tonight on his retirement. Job well done, sir, and we appreciate your time here. We also would like to congratulate Chief Cockrum on his announcement on his appointment, or the announcement on your appointment. As a friend and as a co-worker, and I'm sure I speak on behalf of all of them, we're very proud of you. I think that's incredible, Scott. So on to what we're here for. As you guys know, I'm very honored constantly to be the voice of the men and women out on the floor and the great job they do every day, day in and day out. And I'll give you their numbers since our last board on July 24th. Since then, as you guys noticed back in the half year, I gave you a total of how many calls we were at, and it seemed that you guys enjoyed hearing that number. So today, as of today, our organization has ran 55,188 calls. Since our last board meeting, we've ran 5,366 total calls. We've had 14 working structure fires, 27 vegetation fires, and a new number for you tonight is in basically those 3 weeks, we talk about 14 working fires and vegetation fires, but the men and women have actually had 141 working fires of some form or another, would be a vegetation, vehicle, and so on and so on. So that's a new number for you. We've ran 4,087 EMS calls. 2,989 of those have resulted in a transport for a 73% rate of transportation. In the time that since our last board meeting, we've actually had a significant event in the organization, and we actually got to assist in what we call an IA response to our cooperating agencies, which is up in Amador, El Dorado, which is our neighbors, very close friends of ours, and we actually got to help them. On July 25th, a SANS incident was dispatched, and when that happened in the IA, we sent a total of 8 engines with 2 strike team leaders, and we utilized what we use as our local agreement. It didn't go under an OES, it went with our local agreement, and because of the relationship that this organization has established with CAL FIRE up in AEU, it just worked out perfect, and we were very honored that we had the opportunity to help them out. And the incident commander of that incident was here today in our building. We had a debrief of the incident. And with all the little things that happen that go on day to day in the political part of how the pay happens and the processes, what he could not stress enough was how incredible our folks on the 3 strike teams that this regional area put up there, how well they did. They got there within the first hours of the fire. They immediately went to part of the line and worked their tails off for the entire time they were there. And he came right from the IC. They made a significant difference. And we can't be any prouder when their bosses hear that. That's kudos, because we're not there seeing them out there on a 24-hour shift. So I'm very proud of them then on that. Also, as all of you have seen over the news over the last couple weeks, we have been very busy with the lightning fires that have been up in north. Since the last board meeting, or roughly since in the last 14 days, we've had 8 significant different fires up in Northern California. At the height of that, we had 40 personnel out at any one time. Currently today, we still have 2 fires going, and we have 13 personnel. One of the things I forgot to report on the SANS incident, at the height of the moment when it happened in the middle of the night, we had 54 of our employees out there on the fire ground, which that's a lot of folks in one day. And I think that's it. So that ends my report, unless anyone has any questions. And as always, I hope all of you have a great night. Thank you.
Thank you, Chief Taylor. All right, we'll move on. I'm assuming that the General Counsel has no report?
Nothing further.
Thank you very much. Firefighters Local 522, any members of the group? President Rice?
Board Chief Hinkie and staff, Chief, we want to say congratulations. Had a very long career. Definitely have earned your time in retirement with family and taking care of parents. Congratulations to you. Chief Cochran, congratulations to you two. We've known each other for a long time. I always thought you might be the chief here. But congratulations on that effort. You've got some great candidates for fire chief, and it sounds like, and I'm glad that the board is going to use the resources they have here. Don't know who they are, but good luck to them. Secondarily, I was at Burn Camp last week. That's run by the Firefighters Burn Institute. And the district, I want to thank the district, Chief Hinkie, Chief Holbrook. The district provided vans and retired Director Jim Newcomer and retired engineer Mike Speich drove burn survivors from Shriners up to burn camp. They also delivered some campers from Shriners on Sunday, as well as picked up on Saturday. And I want to thank the district, Chief Hinkie, for supporting that effort. Working at burn camp is quite an experience, and thank you very much. And again, congratulations and good luck to both.
Thank you. Thank you, sir. All right, we'll move on to committee and delegate reports. We'll start with the executive committee. The executive committee met this evening, and we heard recommendations for the chief's selection process. And the executive committee then made a recommendation that was presented to the full board during our closed session, which was reported out this evening. We have no further meetings scheduled, and that concludes that report. I'm assuming that for the very last time in his career, Chief Cockrum will at least report out on what's happening at our comm center JPA, which he will continue to sit on for at least 3 more years, even though he's not in our state. No?
Actually, we have no report tonight. The next meeting is August 26th.
And I'm assuming you won't be there.
I will be there.
Outstanding. Very good. All right, Director Kelly, California Fire and Rescue Training JPA.
Yes, the Fire Rescue Training JPA has not met since I last reported out, and we will meet again on September 18th.
Thank you, Director Kelly. Director Jones on the Finance Committee.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. We did not meet tonight, and our next meeting is Thursday, September 25th, 5 p.m. in these chambers.
Thank you, Director Jones. Director Pearson on the Policy Committee.
We have not met since our last meeting, and we have no meeting scheduled.
Okay, thank you very much. Let's now begin with our board member questions and comments, and may I remind my colleagues that it is now 8:32. Director Jones.
Well, back at you, 8:32. There we go. Chief, congratulations. Job well done here. There's not enough time. I am on a 30-second constraint, I believe. Best wishes, best of luck, and look forward to this transition time. And I'll know you'll be as successful on that end as you have been on this end.
Thank you, Director Jones. Director Kelly.
Chief, much thanks for your friendship and your leadership of this department. Next.
Director Pearson.
I have to keep it short?
You do.
All right. Well, I wanted to congratulate Chief Cockrum on his position. I know he'll do real well there. And also with Chief Hinkie, I've known you for quite a few years. I've worked with you on both sides, both labor and chief, and you've always been very professional, very honest, very forthright, and I appreciate that. You've been a good mentor for me in the union side, and hopefully also the fire management side. I appreciate all that you've done for this department, especially because my family lives here. And you've gotten this staff, you've developed an excellent staff. I look at, a couple of chiefs down, and we're well positioned for the future. And I think that says a lot to your leadership. So thank you.
Thank you, Director Pearson. Director Monk.
Chief, I've already said congratulations. Take care of your family. They're important moving forward. Probably the most important thing that you'll have to deal with, other than maybe taking up golf or something like that. Congratulations. To the candidates for the potential future fire chief, congratulations for being here and helping the chief in the direction of this district, and good luck through the process. It'll be interesting and challenging, so. And to all the people of the district, thank you for being here. This last week, I attended a dual structure fire on Floral, just off of Watt Avenue, that sent up a really impressive column of smoke. But to see the guys in their professional manner putting out that fire, and especially having been there, the red faces, the 100-plus degree temperatures and everything, they deserve a lot of credit. And this is a young man's game. They represent us well. They did an excellent job on that fire, and they deserve a lot of credit. So that's all I have.
Thank you, Director Monk. Director Scheidegger.
Thank you. I want to add my thanks to Chief Henke for his fantastic service to this district through difficult times, and we do wish you the very best. We'll miss you tremendously. I also want to wish Chief Cochran the very best of luck going up to Washington. Great place. I might suggest, having worked there before, you might want to get a Rosetta Stone because they speak a little differently, but you'll fit in very well. You'll do a great job. And I also want to reference Chief Taylor's presentation. You know, these regional strike teams and the work that Metro does and the way we're appreciated and recognized when we're working with our peers is a real credit to this district. I think it's real important that we do this response sort of thing, and it lends a really great credibility to this department and our people. Thanks for that report.
Thank you, Director Scheidegger. Chief Cochran, ditto. Chief Hinkie, ditto. And thank you for showing us the true meaning of retirement when you put your family first. That is the essence of what we do, and so congratulations for doing that. This meeting now stands adjourned.